Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio. Absolute Radio.
Hello, this is Frank Skinner, and I'm here with Emily and Gareth, and this is the Absolute Radio podcast. That'll do, won't it?
Absolute Radio.
There you go, that was Addicted to Bass by Puretone. The producer just pointed out that really I should never have played that on Absolute in the first place, because it's essentially a dance track. Now I've played it twice. I don't know. Yeah, so sorry about that. I remember when I first played it, we got a text message on 8/12/15 immediately afterwards saying, "Where's Whitesnake?"
And that was from the managing director of Absolute Radio.
Yeah, who has this albino asp that gets lost around the studio sometimes. I hate that. I hate it when that happens. Anyway, as it's the first anniversary, I better at least play these.
Saturday morning!
I feel it's the signature of the whole piece.
We got cake, we got balloons.
We got pig iron! We got all anniversary pig iron! Yeah, we have. My friend Robin sent in these purple and blue balloons with a big number 1 on the top. That's the numeral. There isn't a big number 1 on the top. I'd take that. I mean, that'd be unhygienic, wouldn't it? And we've got a cake with a picture of me, Emily, and Gareth on it.
We've got guests.
Yeah, we've got everything. And it's only 1 year. It's almost as if people feeling that 2's pushing it. Do you know what I mean?
Make a big deal of the big one.
Yeah, celebrate while you can, right? So, anyway, it's lovely. And thanks for all your text messages and emails congratulating us, of which there were none. Okay? I don't care. We're not sentimentalists on here. So, I'm going to play another... What a jingle we haven't played for ages. What about this one? Just remembered why. Okay.
I love it. It's about me. We have just had a congratulations. Do you remember those girls in Philadelphia, PA, who were up until 5 a.m?
Do I? Oh.
They've said happy birthday, Frank, Gareth and Emily. Your name's spelt wrong, Gareth, but never mind. Thought that counts.
I wonder what musical they're doing this week. I mean, I've got it into my head that they gather together in the early hours, having been out all night drinking Surrey Pop and Dr. Pepper, and then they talk about the boys from the frat. I don't know what that is, but anyway, there's boys from it. And then they recreate musicals for their own amusement. That's what I think.
Annie, I hope. Oh, I love a bit of Annie.
Well, they did Annie last time. I think maybe this time it'll be Oliver. I can see one of them now with like a quietly ragged wig on and a mum's hat going, Oliver, never before has a boy asked for more. Actually, I do think he actually does that one, does he, Fagin?
No.
Basically, every song I do from Oliver, I do as Fagin. Where is love? It doesn't really work, I'll be honest with you. So, yeah, I was walking through Cirencester this week. Do you know it? Gloucestershire?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, there's a very nice agricultural college near there.
Is there?
You go there if you've got land to manage. Anyway.
Okay. Well, I didn't go there. And a man went past on a bicycle.
Yeah.
And he started pointing at me laughing, which I know is a nice thing for a comic, but he looked like he was in a state of shock.
Right.
And he was pointing at the side of his head and pointing at me. Like, you know, when people say, "You're mad, you are." And then I realised he was pointing at... He's got his earpiece in, and he was listening to a podcast.
Oh,
so this
I love
bloke
that.
is cycling through Cirencester, of all places, listening to the podcast. He looks up and there's me. If only life could always be like that.
Yeah. Oh, I'm pleased for him.
It reminds me a bit, I was at a party once and with David Baddiel, and the people put on...
Stop name-dropping.
Sorry, yeah. And people put on Three Lions really, really loudly. So loudly that the neighbours came round to complain, and me and Dave went to the door. And they looked very, very confused. I'm sure they didn't know who we were. They were blind. No, that wasn't. That was an anecdote that wasn't going well, and I thought it needs a big ending. But I'm not happy with it.
Absolute Radio.
And our special guest today, by the way, is Toyah Wilcox.
Oh, I used to love her when I was a young
yeah.
thing.
What's she going to be talking about, I wonder?
It's a mystery.
It is, but we'll find out soon enough. But I like a bit of a mystery. There isn't enough of that in life, I think.
No.
We had a reply from Steve Sprange.
Oh, Steve Sprange, the cat owner.
Yeah, the cat owner.
In case you didn't hear last week, Steve Sprange, he emailed us, actually. He didn't even text us. He didn't even text us on 8/12/50. He emailed us because he's got a new cat and he doesn't have a name for it, so he asked people to suggest. There was all sorts of stuff came in.
A mate of mine texted during the week with Cat 22.
That's
quite
good.
a good one, isn't it?
That'd be particularly good if it was the 22nd cat you'd had.
Hi peeps, thanks so much for putting my question out there on Saturday's
say
podcast.
hi, peeps?
He did say hi peeps, but we should, stay with him.
Frank, stop being so judgmental. That's my job.
Let's just stop it there.
Oh, Frank, don't be so mean.
Unless you're sending an email to Samuel Pepys. And even then, it's a bit formal, isn't it?
I love the idea of emailing Samuel Pepys.
If you were at school with Samuel Pepys in the same form, hi, Pepys, I mean, that would be all right. I can't think of another... Carry on. I suppose it could be a friendly name for Bo Peep.
I love Steve Sprange. Leave him alone. Carry on reading it.
He's made a decision. Being a bit of a film buff, I believe I will go for John Wayne's True Grit Rooster Coburn's cat name, General Sterling Price.
Yes, I think that's a good choice, I have to say.
That was your choice.
Well, yeah, it was. It just always struck me in the movie it was the best ever name for a cat. Gives the cat a sort of grandeur, which they don't always have. Even if it was badly maimed, I think it would retain that. I'm picturing that now. I'm picturing a three-legged. It looked like that it was hurt in some sort of battle.
Yeah.
Speaking of being battle-scarred and being called names, Mark Owen. I don't get the Mark Owen thing. Tiger Woods.
Filthy devil.
No, but Tiger Woods was torn to pieces. Well, nearly, if he hadn't got in the car and tried to escape. And then John Terry, he got absolutely... I think the phrase is dragged over the coals. Do you see? They lay down in the dressing room, both Ashley and Cheryl, and JT was dragged across them.
Over them.
I'd like to
And
see
there was
it.
Ashley as well. And now it's Mark Owen.
But people are quite nice about Mark Owen.
I know.
Yeah, well, it's sort of expected from pop stars, isn't it? They're supposed to do that sort of thing.
I don't think it's that. It's because he's like a little woodland creature.
He's Sylvanian.
He
Yeah,
is.
I agree with that.
But there've been 10 of them, Frank. 10.
10 Mark Owens. Well,
No.
I think that's they film in the Smurfs.
He's cheated. He's had 10 women behind her back.
Who keeps count?
Well, he didn't. He said, I think it's about 10.
Oh, okay.
But apparently, the good news is...
I must admit, if I was him, I think every time I committed the act, I wouldn't be able to resist going, take that.
Frank!
You've got the band name. Okay.
I'm going to pretend you didn't
Thank
say
God
that.
he isn't in Deep Purple.
Oh, Frank!
Sorry, carry on.
Listen, do you know what I love most about this whole thing? Other than this, someone else's personal life isn't going very well. It's the fact that one of the women that he had an affair with,
Yes.
guess who she signed up with now? She needs a bit of representation.
So she needs a sort of publicity guru
She
to
needs a
help her
publicity
out.
guru. Who would you go to?
Well, my guess is...
Bang, bang, Maxwell Silver.
It's Maxwell Clifford. I'm glad. It's a recurring theme on this
Oh,
show.
I love
every
Maxwell
week.
Clifford.
He swoops down on those in trouble like this terrible old white-haired buzzard.
In his leather jacket, Frank.
Well, you say leather, I say suede, some say knitted. I mean, that's what I like, something for everybody with
It's
Maxwell.
got a quilted motif, though.
Well, let's go into... I think we need to play some adverts. Obviously, someone's got to pay the bill. But, I mean, that cake didn't come out of nowhere. That cake actually came from my management company. Can I say I've made up with my manager? We had a row on the show last week.
Oh.
But now he's actually in today and we're best friends again. So that's lovely. That's a love. Any couples listening who had an argument maybe last night... It's a very similar thing with a manager. There's a lot of playing hard to get and all that. If there's any couples listening, why don't you use us as an example? Me and my manager, we hugged and made up and everything's lovely now. And at the end of the day, that's what it's about. It's not about strife, it's about life.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Absolute Radio.
OK, Mark Owen we were talking about. We should say...
The cheating woodland creature.
Yeah, we should say that he's more of an elf, isn't he? He's a mischievous elf. That's what he is. He's not well, though, is he? I think he's gone into...
Well, I
rehab.
don't know if he's not well, but he's done what every cheating man does, which is suddenly check into rehab as soon as they're caught.
Well, not every cheating man. Cheating men with quite a bit of money.
Yeah.
Usually they just... Actually, I think the normal man's version of that is, sorry, I was drunk. But, no, yeah, he's actually gone into rehab, which is...
I think it's to get away from their partner, maybe.
Yeah, get out of the house.
I think that's probably safe. I don't know. Who's going to be next on this? I mean, they're queuing up. Not me, in case you're wondering.
No.
My favourite, I think, would be David Cameron with, say, Rusty Lee. Now, I know we might think better of him because of, you'd think, oh, well, at least he's not, he's broad-minded. But I just think he's been so perfect. I know he's brought the wife in as well to talk about him. I think there's something, it would be perfect, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Now, that would have been good if, in her interview, Sam Cam had said, the thing about David is serial adulterer.
Do we call her Sam Cam?
Yeah, she's Sam Cam now.
Oh, that's a new name.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been good if she'd said... Because she said things like, no, he's so messy around the house and he's always channel flicking. And also he lies. Pathological liar. Pathological liar.
Making promises he can't keep. That's what he's into.
Yeah, I hate it when he does that. And also, we say things in the house, and then when he goes outside, he's, like, completely indifferent. I really wish he wouldn't do that.
I liked it when she said, he was quite different from anyone I'd ever met before. It's like, yeah, he wasn't a Marquis, basically. That's why.
He was borderline Marquis.
Yeah, he was quite posh.
I think he once came on Sky News being interviewed, and it said David Cameron. Underneath it said borderline Marquis. Borderline Marquis sounds like a character from an Oscar Wilde short story. Sir, let me introduce you to Borderline Marquis III. Good day to you.
Mark and Hammersmith has just texted in and said, "Hi Frank, a stranger has just walked up to me and punched me in the face because he was so annoyed you didn't put the adverts on."
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Ad rage.
Yeah.
We knew it was going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's fair enough. I bet it's the man from Rotten Seal. He was absolutely irate. But to be fair to him, he did what he says on... Yeah, so I'll tell you one thing about Mark Owen, one plus he'll have, is at least he'll be able to go on Piers Morgan's show and cry.
Oh, yeah.
That's
got to happen soon, hasn't it? He's got to be next.
Yeah, I was asked to go on, and I just couldn't, there's nothing that I'm not upset about.
That you're going to cry?
No.
Why does everyone cry on it?
It's become very fashionable now, crying, generally.
Oh, it's so hot right now, crying.
Yeah, it is. You'll see, at the end of the football season, you get fans, whoever gets relegated, they cry. And you can see them looking at the corner of their eye for the cameraman before they start sitting with their head in their hands. And the players do it as well. I do care about the club. Look at me pretending to cry. I hate it.
Ronnie Corbett's the only one who didn't cry, wasn't it? He was quite happy.
I think he did cry, but he was just below the line of the camera.
They couldn't see. Oh, my wife is so much bigger than me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
She hurts me.
Yeah, he didn't cry. I bet they obviously got him on, didn't they? Because they thought, we'll talk about Ronnie Barker, he'll cry. That's safe. And he was
Ronnie Barker's dead.
Yeah, and that was it. And he said, yeah, very sad. And they moved on. And that's quite right, because he's an old pro. He wasn't going to play the game, but he won't be asked back. You either cry or you're out. God, when I said I had nothing I was that upset about, they offered to have one of the runners from the production company peeling onions at the side of my chair, just off camera.
They'll arrange for something very bad to happen in your personal life.
I know, well, if anything happens, obviously they'll be on the phone the next morning.
Oh, yeah.
I might phone them while I'm still in the ambulance. The money was good, I think what was it, John? 10 grand, was it?
More than that.
Was it more than that? Oh, I mean, the money's good, but I don't twang for the mouse, as...
Twang for the mouse?
I don't twang for the mouse, as what Ry Cooder said when his manager said that Disneyland were offering him £1 million to do a gig there. He said, I don't twang for the mouse. I've always thought that was a marvellous way to live your life.
Toyah be go!
So, I'll tell you what, we've talked about this before, I think, but there's another article about new office jargon.
Oh, yeah.
I really like this. People, they moan about people inventing new words and stuff, but I like the fact that the language is a vibrant and organically growing thing. Don't you, Gareth?
Yeah, well, the thing is with jargon...
I just wanted a
is
yes.
Okay.
Anyway, so, no, sorry, go on.
The thing is with jargon is, though, it can exclude people. Sometimes it's good for
Another
the
good
culture.
thing.
Well, you say that like it's a bad thing, exactly.
Well, they had some more examples. They had, like, apparently, they went to various businesses, and at the Department of Health, they have a phrase for old people who are old but not actually ill, and they call them the welderly.
Oh, that's
And
clever.
I think that's good. That's clever, yeah. And apparently they have a thing also called webinars,
What's that?
which is when they have a seminar, but they do it through the internet thing, see a webinar.
Oh.
And my own particular favourite, and I don't know quite what it means, is they use the phrase low-hanging fruit.
I don't like the sound of that.
Oh, well. In the
Pull up
end,
the
we had
trousers.
to have that dog put down. But I think it must mean that something like the easy option, doesn't it, low-hanging? But I was thinking that we should have some jargon for this, for this job.
Oh, I see. So low-hanging fruit is it's the opposite of like punching above your weight or something. I get it.
Yeah. I
Okay.
suppose it's the opposite of high-hanging fruit, the truth be told, if we're going to be strict about it.
You shouldn't punch fruit,
Okay.
Wasteful.
No. Well, I think we've tried to stop that happening in this country.
So what's our jargon then?
Well, I was thinking, as I played Every Breath I Take by Police, that I was going to start using the phrase about giving it a bit of elbow room, which means not slagging off a song that you don't really want to play.
Okay.
I
Because
use
of elbow.
I use elbow room because obviously I never actually want to play elbow ever, but it's it's part of the job, and I'm not gonna do that sighing and stuff anymore.
that's
I'm
good.
gonna give these tracks a bit of elbow room.
I like elbow room. I like
also
it.
thought of when people send in texts on 8, 12, 15 and they're rude. And they know we can't read them out, so
Yeah.
we have to ban them from being read out. We could call that those texts an asbolute.
Oh, very
you
good.
say? Yes. And finally, I thought you could have a Gareth dote, which is an anecdote that doesn't go anywhere at all. But sounds like it's going to be, and then it lets you down. What do you think?
Yeah, good. I've got some.
Oh, he's got that look in his eyes.
No, actually, mine are quite nice.
Oh, okay.
Frankincense.
Oh.
So when Frank says something that just makes perfect sense and is really good.
Oh, see,
Full
what
of
he's done.
wisdom.
Yeah.
What he's done is he's battled wickedness with kindness, like they do in the Walt Disney films, and it's very, very undermining. I really need some sort of advice on how to handle this in the press.
Bang, bang, Maxwell Silver.
Come on, Max, phone me. Just phone me.
And then for an anecdote from Emily, so she'll tell us something like that she had no friends as a child, just a
Yeah.
butler called Stevenson who she used to hang around with. And that would be, they're called Emerys.
I'm loving it.
Oh, I love it.
And then people who just phone up going, oh, that Emily Dean is so fit, which we get about 100 of them.
We do get that.
Oh,
I would say is the most things that we get said is somebody.
oh, change the webcam, I can't see Emily.
Yeah, that thing about can you move the webcam? Right, I hate that.
Oh no, I loved it when that man said, "I tune in to see the skirt, not the skirting board." That was great.
Well, I thought it was coarse. I don't think you can encourage that kind of thing. That's the global, not global. What's the word when something's to do with the internet? Come on.
No.
Anyway, it's a bit like a modern version of those builders that used to leer at women, except we get it through.
Oh, it's
technology.
awful when that happens.
Yeah, so I thought we could put, instead of listeners, we'll call those people lectioners.
Oh,
Oh,
So
I
we've
love a
We've had a
lecturer.
text from a lectioner.
that's all excellent, I think.
Absolute.
Radio.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio with Gareth and Emily, and Toyah Wilcox is our guest after the news. I think that's all you need to know, factually wise. I mean, that's that. What else? I saw Emily on the news.
Oh.
Oh, did you see
Yes.
it, Frank?
Really?
Yes. Did you
Beware this woman, she's highly dangerous. Was that what it was?
Oh,
Yeah, apparently some shoplifting in Harrods.
Salad's been going missing all over town.
Yeah, it's I thought you were very good talking about.
Frank.
It was one of those things. I was watching the telly, and I knew Emily was going to be on News 24, and I knew it was after 6 o'clock, so I had it on in the background, keeping an eye out. And then they went on to the Oscars things, and I thought, here we goes. And my girlfriend was in. She was downstairs. I started going, Gareth, it's Emily. Gareth, it's Emily. You know the way I can be watching the telly and it can be the orange-faced alligator-eating tribe from Abyssinia. I don't care. But if it's like a shop that's in my street, come here, it's that shop we see every day, live, but it's on the telly. And it was like that, like seeing Emily. Like Emily's someone I don't see very often. But seeing her on the telly was extra. I just want to watch things on the telly that are basically me and my life.
Oh, well, I got a lovely text from Frank, and Gareth, I got a lot. Oh, no, I didn't hear from you. Never mind. But no, it was great fun. I love being on the news. I love the news. I want to do it again. But then a man...
Well, it's easy to get on the news. Any one of us can do that. Or anyone listening who wants to get on the news, you know what you have to do. You know, there are many choices.
But there is a sort of elderly makeup artist who does your hair and makeup, and I didn't really like the way he did it. I had to go with it. But he said he curled it, and it was a bit Bonnie Langford. It was a bit...
No, but I like that. I like that. I like it when you're Langfordian.
Oh, okay. I wasn't so sure.
Yeah, I don't think you should have done the whole I'll scream until I'm thick, though. I think that you took the whole the Bonnie thing too far. But it was... no, I thought you did very well, actually. Have we had any contact from listeners?
Yes.
Good. You want to tell me about it?
Well, we had some feedback. We had some feedback during the week. It says, hi, Frank, Gareth, and Emily. I was listening to one of your podcasts, and you mentioned that Admiral Nelson didn't say "Kiss Me Hardy," and that he said "Kesmet Hardy." You remember that?
Yeah, Kismet, which means fate.
Yeah, destiny. Well, a friend of mine gave me a book, and it says that Nelson did, in fact, say "Kiss Me Hardy," and eyewitnesses did see Hardy kiss him twice.
Yeah, what kind of a book was that?
Yeah.
I'm asking myself.
It was the Book of General Ignorance by John Lloyd and John
Oh, that was that book, was it? Okay.
Yeah. And after the second kiss, Nelson replied, "Bless you, God bless you, Hardy."
Right. And was that his last words then? God bless you.
Well, he says, but did you know that his absolute last words were drink, drink, fan, fan, rub, rub?
Oh, those aren't very dignified last words.
Was he trying to remember the name of Titty Titty Bang Bang? Is it Rob Fan? No, it's got something rude in it. Well, my favourite last words ever was David Garrick, the 18th century actor.
Oh, yeah.
Who, when he died, his last words were, "Oh dear." There's something marvellous about that. Oh dear. Makes you wonder what he saw as he slipped into the next world, doesn't it?
Absolute
Radio.
Yeah, and I tell you what I did read. I read that Ernie Wise, a statue of Ernie Wise has been unveiled in his hometown, which I can't remember the name of.
It's in Morley.
Morley. And his wife, apparently, when they took, that moment, I mean, it must be a big moment for any sculptor when the cover comes off and the audience go, oh. Well, apparently, the cover came off and they went, and it looks, they say, I mean, I saw a picture of it, I mean, it looks like Max Headroom. It looks, Google him, it looks nothing like Ernie Wise at all. And God bless his widow, Doreen. And I think if you're a British comedian from the 60s and 70s, you've got to be married to someone called Doreen. I'm guessing the next answer. Gotta be.
Yeah. I bet she's got a cracking pair of pins.
I bet she has, yeah. Does she do voodoo? Well, it'd be no good using this statue because the voodoo gods won't know who it's supposed to be. And I think you'll find that Max Headroom was simulated. Anyway, she said, and I love this, from Doreen Wise, Ernie's widow, she says, "No statue ever looks like the person, let's face it." Well, what is it? Doreen has completely condemned the art of sculpture in one sweeping statement. She comes after years in obscurity, following the sad death of her husband. She comes out and she's some sort of art critic. I would like to see a series, sort of like Renaissance religious art, with Doreen Wise.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
In which she comes and says things like, well, the baby Jesus has always looked like Mikhail Gorbachev. And just says, like, negative things about art. It'd be great. So, yeah.
She's got a point, though.
Has she?
Oh, I think so. Those Henry Moore sculptures, the figures are awful. The women look awful in them.
I wish they'd unveiled the Ernie White and it'd have been something like that, some weird abstract.
A stone with a hole through.
That would have been brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Well, one local resident said, I've got a very local news reporter there, I'm getting into the news.
No, yes. 5 minutes on News 24, she's looking for work.
I'm saying the Badawi suddenly.
I can see you doing the weather.
Oh, can
Basically,
you?
because
Oh.
when you have to use the phrase in the north, I'd like to see your lip curl into a sneer.
I love North. One local resident said it looks as if he's falling over, and he said it's frightening people. I like the idea of people being frightened.
Well, if
by
they
the
think it's
statue.
falling over, if you're out in Morley and you suddenly look up and
Yeah.
there's a large clay max headroom apparently hurtling towards you, that's going to frighten. I think that's fair enough that would frighten people. I'd like to know what Sister Wendy Beckett thought about it, but I don't know. I think she's
Frank, we've
on
had-
holiday in the Bahamas, apparently.
We've had a text in about Lord Nelson, as you do on Absolute Radio. Sorry, chaps. Nelson's last words were "God and my country," from Jay in Watford.
What was the question that he was answering?
Well, exactly. Also, I don't
Things
believe
you like.
I don't believe that was the last words either. I think that's what they said to the peasants. I think that's what they. I mean peasants in the just to the masses. I think there was like a 19th century Max Clifford figure saying that. I don't think he really said that.
To the peasants, you mean like how you refer to our listeners?
No, I love our listeners. How very dare you?
But I think that makes a point. Because what did you say was his real words, Gareth? Was it a fan?
I don't know. I don't know
He
if that
said
was
fan,
supposed to
fan,
be a joke.
rub.
No, I think it might be true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
He was obviously giving them instructions on doing
Yeah.
the Kiss of Life or something. Perhaps that's what Kiss Me Hardy was about. He was
And he
asking
said,
for the Kiss of Life.
no tongues. I meant like, that.
No, but haven't I just discovered a massive historical secret? Is that he was saying, "Give me the kiss of life, Hardy," but I can't breathe. And Hardy was going, kissed him on both cheeks. He's going, "No, fan, Rob." God in my country! And then he died with the eye. I mean, such was the pressure of his death. The eye socket completely blown outwards, like when a. Anyway, so we have. What have we got now?
We've got Toyah Wilcox coming up, which I'm very excited
I know we've got
about.
Toyah Wilcox. Have we got another ad break now?
No,
We haven't got
the
an ad break.
Killers.
Oh, we got the Killers next.
Oh, that's professional, that
Did you just see
exchange.
that put me off,
oh,
you
my
see?
God. You
You've
can't turn around to the producer mid-show and go, what have we got coming up
Well,
next?
I think people like to see the workings.
The innards.
Yeah,
You've
when
exposed the
when
innards.
somebody buys you a nice, one of those nice Hunter watches that you get. They're quite expensive.
Oh, Frank.
But when you get one of those nice Hunter watches, right, and then some of them you get like a glass back so you can see all the workings. People like that. They like to know that I don't know what I'm playing next. It makes them feel, oh, he's not so special. They can,
They knew that already.
It's all right that that everything's. I still don't know what I'm playing. Oh yeah, I'm playing the Killers. Yeah, I'm giving it some elbow room.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio. Absolute Radio.
Toyah Wilcox is in the studio, and here she is. Good morning, Toyah.
Good morning, Frank.
Thank you so much for coming in.
It's a pleasure.
But you've been here before.
Yeah, about 25 years ago, it could actually be 30 years ago, this used to be Granada TV, and I rehearsed in here with Lord Olivier and Greta Sacchi and Roger Rees for a film called The Ebony Tower.
How marvellous.
And
Lord Olivier.
Oh, it was fantastic. And rather than rehearse in a rehearsal room, we rehearsed in the executive offices of Granada so that staff could bring food in. And Lord Olivier did have a nurse at the time who looked after him, but it meant that we were treated like royalty.
Yeah, that sounds brilliant. How old would you have been then? Was that towards the end?
It was towards the end, yeah. I was about 25, 26 when I made that film.
I'm thinking of getting a nurse. Just maybe just for the shows. I think...
Do you know, I recommend it. It's
Yeah.
fantastic.
I think it's sort of fallen off the bandwagon of what rich people do. People get, PAs and all that, but the nurse...
It's not just about being rich. When you live for a long time, there's certain things you get really bored of, like blowing your own nose, doing your own shopping,
Yeah.
cleaning your own fingernails. A nurse can do all that
Is this
for
Lord
you.
Olivier talking now, or is this your own personal experience?
this is my personal experience as a middle-aged woman.
I've got to tell you, Toyah, many years ago, I was in Birmingham city centre. This would be, long before I did comedy or anything like that. And this coach went past, and it must have been a tour bus, and you were on it. And you were just walking up, you walked up the aisle, and you got your bright orange hair and that in those days. And there was loads of people. This was going, I think, Corporation Street or somewhere by that. And everyone stopped. All the passers-by all stopped, and there was Toyah Wilcox's
You know what
tour
it
bus.
was? We were going to the Odeon to do a concert. Because they used to reverse the tour bus down the side of the Odeon on New Street.
Oh, OK.
And I can remember because there was...
Do you remember me? Do you remember me seeing...
Well, I seem to remember there was a problem that day with about 500 screaming kids outside the
Yes.
Odeon that blocked
They
the
were
street.
with me.
Were they with you? Were you
I
kind
was-
of in the middle of it?
I was working for Bernardo's at the time. It was an outing.
Oh, OK.
But really, it was like, look, you know when you see the kids looking through the window of the toy shop and thinking, it was its show business was going past all us normal people. It was very exciting.
Oh, I loved all that. I
bet you did.
I can remember once, I'm afraid I was one of the organisers of the royalty celebrity It's a Knockout. And all of us were on a coach going to Alton Towers.
That's very brave admission.
There was me, Tom Jones, Sheena Easton, Cliff Richards, Christopher Reeves, John Travolta, and we were on a coach going
if
through
that
the...
had crashed, I mean...
Well, wait, it gets worse. Going through the country lanes, going to Alton Towers, and Princess Fergie was at the front of the bus, doing the royal wave with her hand, shouting down the bus, "Wave to the subjects, everyone."
She didn't say that.
Yeah, she did. And Sheena Easton was singing, "We're all going on a summer holiday. Come on, Cliff, join in." And it was one of the maddest things I've ever been through because we stopped every village that we went through with just licking the windows to get a look at Tom Jones or Jane Seymour or John Travolta.
Yeah.
So it was another one of those moments.
Great. It was like Celebrity Express. That's a fabulous collection I got. See what Cliff should have gone, "My baby gets the morning train." He should have fought fire with fire. That's the trouble with Cliff.
Toyah be go.
So the humans, there's a very strange genesis to the humans.
It is. It's utterly peculiar. It was originally formed because my husband had a call from the president of Estonia 3 years ago asking him to play solo in Estonia for the president's birthday. And my
I should
husband...
point out, anyone who doesn't know your husband is Robert.
Robert Fripp
Yeah,
of King Crimson.
He's not he's not a painter and decorator.
No, it's like, he's worked with Bowie and Gabriel and all the big guys, and Robert couldn't do it, so I phoned the Estonian embassy up and said, I will put a really small, inexpensive band together, and we'll come over, we'll write all the music and perform it for the president. And they said yes. So
It's opportunity.
I mean, how brave were they? So the humans, really, it's Bill Rieflin who's been drumming in REM for the last 7 years, but he plays bass in the humans. Chris Wong, who's my MD, who also plays bass, and the vocals. And the reason I created it like that, I have spent 32 years in the music business fighting the volume of keyboard players, lead guitarists, drummers, and I just thought, get rid of them. I only want my voice to work with bass frequencies. And it just went from there. And then my husband heard it, and he said, "I really like that. Can I come and join you?" And I thought, oh, this is trouble. This is trouble. Because my husband is A-list and he really is demanding, and, he has to have his nurse and he has to work, all of that. So he joined us, and he's on the album, and he's recording the next album with us in May. And it is a very weird setup because we don't use drums.
Okay.
And people can't get their head round it because they're waiting for the drum to kind of kick into the chorus and stuff like that. Well, we don't do choruses.
It sounds like there's a bit of clapping on the album, is that?
That's Bill.
Okay.
Yeah, he Bill the rhythm man, kept slipping in the rhythm, finger clicks, clapping.
Okay.
Yeah.
No drums.
No drums.
Well, I don't know. Well, then who's the idiot in the group? 'Cause that's usually so obvious, isn't it?
It's the lead singer, isn't it?
So do you get on all right? Is it all right working with your husband? Because I was imagining it can be a bit tense.
Okay, we've been married. It's our 25th year married this year.
Wow.
My husband and
Do you want one of our anniversary balloons?
Yes, I do. I want the long phallic-looking one. Oh, sorry, it says number 1.
That's right.
I thought it was something else.
Goodness.
I would like... Bill is my husband's best friend, so they get on great. And then both Bill and my husband think that I'm a cleaner, a nurse, a psychiatrist, a shopper, anything but a singer. So it is a very strange relationship in the rehearsal room.
I'm imagining you're quite a strong woman now to work with. I can't see you being walked over.
No.
Not unless you really want that.
Well, it depends who it is, doesn't it?
Exactly.
These boots are, of course, made for walking. So if anyone wants to go and see the Humans, how can they do that?
Well, the Humans are next touring in June and August, but before that I have the Toyah band, which is going out. Yeah, so come and see me in the Toyah band, because
don't share the glory.
No, that has drums. That's very, very loud.
I definitely want to see that.
It's rock and roll. It's all the hits and everything. And I'm taking part in a series of concerts called Exposed, which is happening in the Midlands, and it's putting together established artists with unsigned bands. So basically to encourage audiences to come and see new music by going to see established acts. So I'm playing the Robin in Wolverhampton on March the 27th, and then the Asylum in Birmingham on April the 23rd as part of the Exposed brand, with about 5 other unsigned bands. And the idea is that we have a really good festival-type feel evening.
Well, that sounds fabulous. And will you be singing?
Oh, yeah.
Absolute Radio.
So I think we have, actually, we need to have a bit of a confession here, because when we knew you were on the show, Emily absolutely lit up.
I was really excited.
Oh, bless you.
Yeah.
Come on, spit it out.
Well, when I was younger, Toyah, I was a massive fan of yours, and I had a special. It was my favourite thing ever. It was a makeup kit that you could look like Toyah.
Yes.
And I tried to, but I got in trouble at school because I did my eyes all orange. So
I loved designing that makeup kit.
it was amazing.
Was it called Eyes to the Soul?
Yes, it was.
I've still got boxes of it in my attic.
Oh, I'm going to have to get one of those off you. Oh my God, that's made me so excited.
I tell you, I understand why Victoria Beckham loves designing clothes, because I was given the opportunity to design this makeup range in 1981. I absolutely love doing it.
Did you
So
actually
did
do it, though?
Yeah,
You did
'cause
do it?
I
Yeah.
always think that people
Yeah.
just put their names to it and don't do anything.
Well, you can do that. You can do it like merchandising, but I sat down and designed the colour palettes. And
Oh, I feel so happy knowing that. I wasn't cheated.
and the factory was up in the borders in Scotland, and I had a lot of involvement, and I just absolutely loved it. It appealed to the Hitler in me, because I was telling people what to do.
This could be good.
He loved his makeup, Hitler. That was the thing about him.
Does it include a moustache?
It does now. As you get older.
Oh, it does. Can I just
The
say anyone
waxing
listening?
kit.
It definitely doesn't. Toyah's wax my soul. Soul, I said. Carry on.
I'm dumbfounded.
I'm sorry, I've spoilt everything. Forgive me. No, can I say you have stuff out? You have gear out we can get.
Yeah, I mean,
there's
my
a
life's-
Humans album, aren't there?
Yeah, the Humans album, I sell everything on rememberthe80s.com, ironically, and I sell more on that than I get through any record company. But I also have a fantastic album out, a Toyah album out, called In the Court of the Crimson Queen, which has just been signed to Japan by Sony, so we're off, to promote that and do a bit of touring and stuff. But this is me and a guy called Simon Darlow, who wrote Slave to the Rhythm for Grace Jones.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Simon and I are long-time collaborators, and we wrote this album 2 years ago, and it's just great, and it's taken off, and it's selling brilliantly. So that, when I do the Toyah shows, that's the music I include in the Toyah shows. And when I do the Humans shows, it's just dead weird, and you get the Humans album material.
Okay. No,
Have I confused you completely?
No, I also have a website about my alcoholism called I Don't Remember the 80s.
That's fabulous.
Which please, I encourage you to tune into. Great. So what else? Because you strike me as I read a thing about you, one of your blogs on the internet, and you said you don't like. See, I thought you'd become one of these country recluses who, maybe had a trout farm. But in fact, you're not really like that, are you? You like doing stuff.
Oh, I love working. I do about 200 shows a year. And then there's telly on top of that. At the moment, I'm getting ready to do an arena tour next year of holograms. There'll only be 10 performers, real living performers, and the rest is all holograms. And it's this brand new concept that...
Goodness. Are you turning up for it, or are you just being...
No, I'm turning up
You're
for
going
each
to be
venue.
real.
Yeah,
Do they have to
real.
guess who's real?
I
That'd
think
be a great
no, 'cause
quiz.
I think it's going to be a bit like the Gorillas, and Arlene Phillips is doing the choreography and all of that. So I'm hoping it, because I haven't seen any of it yet. I've just been told I'm doing it. I'm hoping it's going to be like the Gorillas, and you'll be with these really funky kind of cartoon 3D characters.
Oh, that sounds... What's it called, that? I'll look out for that weird...
Do you know,
hologram.
I have been
You don't
told-
even know. No,
I have
why should
been
you know?
told.
You've got a lot on your mind, Toyah.
But it's just... Thanks to the menopause, I can't remember. I can barely remember who I am at the moment.
Can I just say
Shall we
that...
close on the menopause?
Well, I'd also like to close to say Toyah has become a proper friend of the show already.
Oh, definitely.
I
I
love
think
Toyah.
she's going to get the jingle. Let's face it.
Yeah.
If I can find it. Here we... Or maybe it's not here anymore. Oh, I'm sorry.
I was
Sarah.
surprised,
It's a
Toyah.
bad omen.
Just talk amongst
I
yourselves.
was surprised to discover that you came from Birmingham, because you speak beautifully.
Hold it, brother. Here we go. Friend of the show. Not many people get that, Toyah.
No.
So you established that. Well, it's been
Thank you.
absolutely fabulous having you on. It's
been
great.
lovely. It's been great fun.
And you've
Thank
been
you.
beyond our expectations. And
That sounds loaded to me.
yeah, I suppose if they'd been very low, but they weren't. They were high, and you were better still. So it's been great. So go and see Toyah. Where again are you on this week?
27th of March, the Robin, Wolverhampton. 23rd of April, the Asylum in Birmingham.
Yeah, so get to that, and you'll be able to go up. And there might even be in the merchandising some free makeup kits. Well, not free.
Or
Obviously,
moustaches.
They won't be free. They'll be 17 shillings and sixpence. Thank you very much, Toyah. It's been joyous.
Thank you.
Absolute
Radio.
Johnny Cameron has texted in, trying to disguise his name by changing his first name. Morning, Frank, Emily and Gareth. Frank, could you please say hoity-toity to my girlfriend Avril? During the week, we were walking through Hyde Park and she said she was feeling a little cold, so I did the chivalrous thing and offered her my jacket. However, in true Emily Dean style, she turned it down because it looked a bit common.
Oh, well done. Well done, Avril.
I can only say, hoity-toity! See, you're spreading a terrible influence of
Oh, thank goodness for that.
superior air. We just had the bosses, two of the bosses, Paul and Tony from Absolute, came in with a massive big cake from, where was it from?
And a knife.
Where was it from?
Is that for the cake? I hope so.
I must admit, yeah. When they ran in with a knife, I did think, oh my God, we've gone too far. We shouldn't have played Addicted to Bass. They've taken it very badly.
From a
Maybe
very
I misread
posh
that.
bakery.
Maybe it's Addicted to Bass. Maybe it's some sort
Billy
of
Bass.
fish fetishist. Yeah. Maybe addicted to Big Mouth Billy Bass. Yeah. Don't worry. Remember the fish on the plaque?
Oh, yeah.
Don't worry. Be happy. If you don't remember it, just trust me. So, look, we've got a bit of a special occasion on the show. Some of you might think that Gareth's baby, Ethan, who was not born on the show, but during the show. How long ago was he born?
8 months.
Yeah, so 8 months. So just 4 months into the show. He's been around for 2/3 of the show.
Oh.
You might remember him sounding like this. But not anymore. Oh, no, he sounds like this. No, he doesn't. I made that
That's
up.
Marquis Smith,
No,
by the way.
we have a special.
Fact
We
fans.
have a bit of a special. Go on, Gareth. Tell us.
Well, apparently he can speak.
He can speak.
Oh,
Well,
he's
Can we
8
have
months
him in?
old. How
Can we
long
have
does
him
it
in?
take them to speak?
No, it does take... Well, it was weird. Laura went to a mum's group, and she left him for a minute, went out the room, and when she came back, the other mum said, "How old is Ethan?" She said 8 months. She goes, "Yeah, that's very young to be speaking."
Oh, is it?
And Laura said, "You can't speak. What
I love
happened?"
he's already talking behind her
Oh,
back.
I love it.
And they had said to him, "Would you like a banana?" And he said, "Yes."
Well, I wonder if he knows now. He probably hates bananas. He thinks,
To be
"What's
fair,
that
Frank,
word?" Yes.
I didn't know no either. I just
No,
knew, yeah.
no, I think you only picked up now in the, it was about 4 years ago. And there's a lot of footballers very grateful for that. So, I'm
Frank.
terribly sorry, everyone.
I'm saving that from autobiography. Sorry, Gareth.
You know, I was interviewing Gaza once and he said that to me. I asked him about somebody. He said, "Oh, Frank, I meant to save that for my autobiography." Well, that's fabulous news, though. Have you actually heard him speak yet?
Yeah, well, he's been saying
Not
Mama and
Gaza.
Dada for
Oh,
a
has
while.
he?
But also, we don't ask him questions. We don't ask him if he won the stuff because we don't think he can answer. So I've started, and he does sort of say things that sound a bit like yes.
You know, you've introduced decision-making into the household. Well, it's not before time. It's about time it wasn't all on Laura's shoulders. That's what I'm saying. Well, look, that was our anniversary show. Mate, I said we've all had an absolutely. We're not going, but just in case we're all killed in a road accident this afternoon. It's been a fabulous year. I am driving to West Bromwich. Anything could happen. So yeah, it's been great, and we love Absolute, don't we? And it's great, and we're going to eat their cake, and it'll be marvellous. Thank you, anyone who's been listening to us on more than one occasion that was just an accident. Thank you very, very much for your loyalty, and we love you all. Good day to you.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Absolute Radio.